Welcome back, folks. It has been a whirlwind start to the high school football season, and just across the river in South Sioux City, they've had plenty to celebrate, especially in running back Tony Palmer, who's this week's SportsFource champion.
Every time I run, I just run like, it's my last time running the ball, so I just run hard every chance I get.
That strategy has paid off big time for Tony Palmer and the South Sioux City Cardinals. Entering the week at an undefeated 4-0, the Cardinals have lit a spark under not just the school, but the community as they've jumped out the gates this season.
School community-wise, we've had 3 home games to start the year off, and we've had awesome crowds. It's been exciting. There's been a lot of energy.
Having energy in the stands is pretty easy with a solid offensive line and the big playability of running back Antonio Tony Palmer, who's been the workhorse so far for the Cardinals.
Honestly, I have to give credit to my line. I love those guys. They're great. They work hard all the time.
Tony's big play potential. He breaks a lot of tackles, and he's got a lot of speed. And it's pretty exciting when he pops off one of those big runs.
One of those big runs came in a game against the Cardinals' rival on the other side of the river, Sioux City West. And as much as I'd like to describe the play, there are a few people who had a better view of the action.
Right, and it's kind of a blurry. He makes a play off to the right. It was an outside run to the right side of the field.
I just happened to set my feet left
and cuts back all the way across the field.
Made a guy miss, and I just saw a bunch of sidelines, so then I hit it as fast as I could. And then I saw my teammate Andrew, so I was like, well, I guess we'll just do something fun. So I hit him with the high five. So
I can't remember the distance of the run, maybe 80 yards, but he truly ran over 100 yards for the play.
Andrew is tight end Andrew Ortiz, who knew exactly what he was doing on that play.
I was blocking on the left side and seeing Tony break out, and he tells us to always hustle there. And I want to be like Tyreek Hill, where he ran up to him and high-fived him. So, Tony's my homie, so I just want to do that.
This Friday, Palmer and South Sioux hit the road to take on 3-1 Millard West in one of their biggest tests of the season. In South Sioux City, Jason Moeller, KTIV SportsFource.